Hello, welcome to the Paper Snob. This is Tara. Today I'm working on Iron Crafter Challenge. This is a monthly challenge that Anna from Peacecraft Love and I put together to help us use some of that product that we have in our stash that's just not getting used quickly enough, or in some cases at all. And so for the month of October, we chose ephemera. And I have pulled out the ephemera from my 3-kit compilation from Hip Kit Club. These are their November Christmas kits. I have tons of embellishments left and only scraps of pattern paper left. And so I'm trying to get myself to use up a lot of this beautiful ephemera. These kits are absolutely stunning. And Christmas is not necessarily my favorite holiday to scrapbook, so some of them kind of sat, which is why there's 3 of them from the past 3 years. But my goal is to get these all used up on the current Christmas photos that I am scrapbooking. And I am scrapbooking in 2015. And I have this picture of this book that I have read to my children every Christmas Eve for a very, very long time. I started when they were, the oldest 3 were very, very little, and I've been reading it ever since. It was a gift to me from my sister and her husband at the time, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful story about why Jesus came to earth, and it explains it in a way that children can really understand his arrival and his death and burial. And my kids will tell you that when it gets to the part where he is born, I break down into tears every single time. So I probably will not get to read this story anymore because I only have one of our 5 kids left at home because the baby decided to move out this month, and Seth is probably not going to want to listen to it. I mean, he's 21. But we'll see. I'll ask him Christmas Eve if he wants me to read it. He may. You never know. So, I have this pattern paper left over from the Christmas layout I did the other day. I thought I'd go ahead and try to use up some of this. There's some other bits of it over here to my right, but I think I can work with these and get it used up. I have a photo that's going to get trimmed down. I have a ton of ephemera to play with. And then I have some alphas and title pieces in this bag that I will dig through and find my title and maybe a journaling block or 2. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Let's go. The very first thing I want to do is I want to add a little bit of watercolor to this white pattern paper. This is not a mixed media pattern paper. This is just a sheet of white from Basil, and it's one of their smooth finish heavyweight cardstocks. It's heavyweight enough that it can take the watercolor, although I wouldn't put a whole lot of other mixed media on it. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of playing with and putting on 3 colors of green. 2 I put in that big blob just to put some color on the background, and the 3rd one I'm going to flick splatters all around, and that is all I'm really going to do to the background. Next, I'm going to trim down this Bella Boulevard pattern paper into, basically they're going to be short rectangles. I didn't measure any of them. I'm just kind of layering them up. And then the strip of red, I'm going to use my banner punch to create a banner. Whoops, just slipped there on my trimmer. But other than that, I'm not going to do a whole lot with the pattern paper. So there's my banner punch. This is the banner punch that you can get at Hobby Lobby. I bought it with one of their coupons a year or so ago because I was doing a lot of Allison Davis sketches, and they have a lot of banners on them, and I cannot cut even banners if there's a whole bunch lined up, so I decided I needed a punch. needed, wanted. It's the same thing, right? Anyway, so pretty much that is how my pattern papers are going to get lined up on this layout. I have not actually glued any of them down just yet. I think I do a little bit of that on camera, and then off camera I do a little bit heavier gluing down. I'm going to use the snow globe over here down on that lower left corner, and I'm going to put that bow up there. And I'm just going to kind of dig through and play with this ephemera. There's still so much of it left. I feel like I've been using this forever and ever and ever, and I guess I really haven't. Anyway, I'm just kind of digging through it to see if there's anything else I want to put on here. And I think I just move on to the floral and branches bits next, which are still in that little gray tray. I like that Christmas tree, but I'm not going to put that on there. I'm going to set that little box aside, and I'm going to start pulling out some floral pieces. I like that piece there. It's got a lot of the leaves and stuff on it, so it has a lot of the colors in it from the pattern paper, which is why I chose this collection, because it had enough of the same colors that the Hip Kit collection did that I can still confidently use up these embellishments that are left over in this kit, and things still match, although not too matchy. It works out pretty well. I'm going to tuck those pink flowers behind the snow globe, and I grabbed a couple pieces of leaves and branches to tuck underneath the floral ephemera. I will be putting some of these bits and pieces up on fun foam adhesive or foam squares. I don't remember exactly what I grab, but I will be doing that. Next, I'm going to pull out that bag of embellishments, and I'm going to start digging for my title pieces. I do still have 3 fonts in there to play with, but I'm also still trying to use up the phrases on some of these stickers, and so I'm looking for the one that I want to use. Feel like I'm just digging, and I'm not finding it, but it's there. I finally find it, I think, here, and I pull it off, and it says December Traditions. I thought I just had a word that said traditions, but December Traditions is fine as well. And then I pull off that puffy sticker to put under it for a subtitle. Now I'm just kind of looking for a few other little pieces. I know I'm going to add a couple pieces of the chipboard stickers, and I'm going to pull out a frame to kind of matte my photo. It's not really matted, but what it does is it gives it a little bit of lift. Instead of using fun foam, I'm using that chipboard frame to go underneath the photo. Again, nothing is glued down just yet. Only that 24th is stuck on the paper. So before I add the frame, I decided to tack down the left side of my papers so that they wouldn't shift anymore while I was working on getting this frame under here. And so what I'm going to do is, because of the way that I'm laying that photo down, I am going to use a little bit of this fun foam in strips to kind of make that photo level across the entire photo mat. I put a full line where the chipboard frame is, and then I put a full line under the bottom, and then a little tiny piece up there in the right corner of that photo, and that pretty much takes care of the making that photo level. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the quick dry glue underneath those foam pieces before I forget. The fun foam is only adhesive on one side, so you have to make sure that you glue the other side down. Otherwise, of course, it's not going to stay. So now I'm going to go ahead and glue down some of this ephemera, and I'm pretty pleased with myself because I actually mostly only used ephemera to embellish this layout. Of course, the pattern paper brings in a lot of color, and I did put a couple pieces of chipboard in there minus my 2 pieces for the title. But for the most part, it is all ephemera, and that's more ephemera out of my stash and into an album. Now again, I'm going to add some fun foam to the back of the snow globe and stick that in there. I'm going to go ahead and glue down the little floral piece that I put underneath it at the same time. Now remember, the reason that I'm choosing to use liquid adhesive is because it doesn't dry right away, and I'm still able to move things around as I'm tucking, and that kind of keeps me from messing up the design of my page. I'm adding some foam squares to this bow, and that bow is going to sit right at the top of that snow globe as a layer piece. And then I'm going to take that little floral branchy bit and I'm going to stick it behind the flowers, and that completes the cluster there. So now I'm going to go ahead and get some fun foam behind these other two flowers and get them layered up around that piece of chipboard flare that says the 24th, because of course I took this photo right after sending my littles, who weren't really all that little, but I still call them my littles. They're 21 and almost 19. I probably should stop, but I still call them my littles because they were always, anyway, I'm silly. But I am layering this up, and I had sent the children to bed for the night, and I was about ready to go to bed myself. And then I just took a photo of the book because it just seemed like a pretty moment to capture. My husband has taken photos of me reading the book to the kids. There weren't any for 2015. I think there were for 2014. I seem to remember scrapbooking them last year. I know that my photo mat is currently crooked. I will fix that off camera, but for right now, I'm just trying to get everything glued down on this page. And then I realized I wanted to add another little phrase up in that upper embellishment cluster. And I'm going to add some stars. I have one chipboard star in yellow, and then I still have some ephemera bits that have some stars in it. Alright, I got this layout completely finished. I used almost exclusively ephemera to decorate this page. I brought in a chipboard sticker here and here to put on those embellishment clusters. And then of course my title is also a chipboard sticker, and then the other part is a puffy sticker. And then I brought in this piece of crocheted yellow lace off camera to put underneath here to anchor my photo. And yes, I used a chipboard frame kind of as a mat. It's not really matted, but it kind of looks like a mat on there. It just gives another layer of color. I do want to thank you for coming to my channel today. I really appreciate those of you who take the time to like, comment, and or subscribe. If you are not a subscriber, I would absolutely love for you to subscribe to my channel. When somebody subscribes to my channel, I do a happy little dance in my desk chair. It's not pretty. I'm not a dancer, so we won't ever video that. But you guys make me very happy. If you have any comments about this video or about this layout or any technique that I might have used on this layout, just drop them below and I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Thank you so much for coming here. Make sure that you check out the playlist below for Iron Crafter Challenge. There are several creators hopping along with me for this challenge. They are an amazing bunch of creatives. You will be absolutely amazed and inspired. You have a great rest of your day. Bye.